Welcome to Conversations on the Heart. Today I want to share a message that has profoundly impacted my life, and I hope that it can do the same for you. And that is the belief that there are no coincidences in life, only divine appointments. Every encounter, every event, every circumstance is vibrationally aligned for a purpose. While they may seem random when viewed in isolation, the truth is that everything is orchestrated either to alert, protect, inspire, push us, or evolve us. And the quicker we learn to see these coincidences as divine orchestrations, the quicker we'll realize how beautifully designed our lives truly are. But to truly grasp this concept, we must be willing to communicate with the universe. The universe is always present. She's always yearning for us to acknowledge her subtle whispers. And what I can tell you is that when you establish this connection, a profound flow of guidance and synchronicity unfolds, and the gates of heaven flow open towards you. Let me illustrate to you through a story how this concept has worked in my life, showing the intricate dance between destiny and divine intervention. Are you ready for some storytelling? Let's do it. Years ago, I found myself in turbulent waters. I was trapped in a relationship that was draining rather than uplifting. You see, I'm the kind of person who likes a certain level of predictability. I like to know that I'm standing on solid ground, and truthfully, every day with him felt like quicksand, and the more I held on, the faster I sunk. But like many times in my life, quitting has proven very difficult for me, so I tend to hold on to things and people far too long at my own detriment. In the bedroom one night, I was crying, feeling sorry for myself, and asking myself, how in hell did I get myself into this horrible situation with this guy? So I asked the universe for guidance. The next day, it was a Sunday morning, and as I typically do, I was early at the gym. I had my headset on, and I went through my YouTube app looking for something to keep me motivated through the workout. The first thing that came into my feed was a sermon by the preacher Joel Osteen. I almost scrolled down looking for other possibilities, but something that day told me to click on that episode. As Joel began his talk, I began my training. And it was one of those things when you hear something that you have been waiting to hear for a long time. Have you ever had those moments? It was as if Joel's sermon was tailored to me, and it was urging me to recognize and to listen to the signs of the universe and to trust the unknown. How is it that he knows so well what I'm going through? I wonder. And the more I listened, the more intense it became. I was convinced that Joel was talking directly to me, and I kept losing count with my training. So finally, I realized it was futile. I stopped the training, put the weights away, and I walked to the stretching area and sat on a corner of the gym on a mat to just listen. Could it be possible that the universe was using Joel Osteen to convey a message to me? I mean, that was the biggest question that I had. I was so intrigued. And in essence, he said that the universe is like the GPS in our cars and phones, but unlike the GPS on our phones that give us the entire route overview, you know, how long is it gonna take, what turns you have to make, what exit you have to take, God only reveals one instruction at a time, one step at a time. The problem is that we have gotten used to getting all the details.
But one difference between God and a navigation system is God doesn't show you the route overview. He doesn't tell you how it's going to happen, how long it's going to take, where the funds are going to come from, who you're going to meet. He leads you one step at a time. And if you'll trust Him, and take that step into the unknown, not knowing how it's going to work out, then He'll show you the next step. And step by step, He'll lead you into your destiny.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I found myself saying everything that I was hearing made perfect sense. Of course, it's easy to trust the unknown when you have all the answers, right? But guess what? That's not how the universe works. And she was urging me to leap into the unknown without the route overview. This resonated deeply in my soul, and I just sat on that mat with my headset on, and I was nodding and even talking to myself. Joel further said that the universe is like the headlights in our car that illuminate only a short stretch of road ahead.
Years. It's like the headlights on your car. When you're driving at night, you can only see 100 feet in front of you. You don't pull over because you can't see your destination 50 miles away. You keep driving. As you go further, then you will see more. Will you take that step with the light that you have? If you're waiting for all the details, you're going to be waiting your whole life.
Well, the universe works the exact same way. By this point, I am convinced that there's only Joel and I in the world, and that he is talking directly to me. With this newfound determination, I decided to listen to the universe's call. And I said, and I remember this as if it was yesterday, I remember I clearly spoke out loud. I said, okay, you win. You send me the next sign, and I swear I will follow the sign no matter how scary it may be. Now, to make a long story short, that same day by 6 p.m., the universe had sent me the next sign that I needed. It was painful but transformative, and it happened in such a way that you could not replicate it even if you tried. I was at a hot yoga class with my boyfriend, as we customarily did on Sundays. But that day, the room was really hot, and I felt that my throat and my lips were close and dried. So I reached behind me looking for my bottle of water on the floor next to the mat where I would typically put it, but it's not there. And I remember, crap, I left it in the car. So I tried to push through the discomfort of the heat, but it was unbearable. I couldn't breathe, I was suffocating, and I needed to wet my lips and ease my thirst desperately. So I leaned into my boyfriend and I said, hey, I'm gonna go get my bottle. And I left the class, ran across the street, opened the front door, and there was my bottle. And as I retrieved the bottle, he, I guess, had left his phone. And as I am retrieving, his phone screen lights up with an incoming message. Now, a millisecond before or a millisecond after, it could not have happened, okay? And there it was, as if it was meant for me to read it. Now, coincidence or divine orchestration? Well, the message was from an ex-girlfriend, not so ex, and their plans to hook up that night. That was the sign, and I hated it. I was sorry I asked, because it was a bitter reality that I was not ready to face. But I had asked, and the universe had complied, and now I had no excuse but to follow my promise to act on the sign. Needless to say, it was the most traumatic time of my life, because the separation happened in the most horrific of ways, as it left me with my heart and my dignity in 1,000 pieces. For a long time, I was sorry I had asked. I was petrified of the unknown, and this is why the saying, be careful what you wish for, because you may just get it, is so powerful. I had to deal with all the fear of the unknown, but I also remember the promise that Joel Osteen spoke about, that the universe will reveal the next step in faith. So I stayed in faith. I trusted the sign. I trusted the unknown, even if I had to do it kicking and screaming all the way through. But Joel was right. The universe did deliver the next sign and the next sign in my life. Now, I must tell you that from that experience, I found meaning and fulfillment within my pain that I didn't know was possible. In finding meaning, I healed my life. And from that experience, I now help others heal theirs. For me, it was in that trust. It was in following only the 160 feet of illuminated stretch of light in front of my darkness that I stumbled upon my destiny. I have not looked back since then. Now, of course, you could say, coincidence, of course, but remember, I told you that there are no coincidences in life. Learn that those moments that we experience as synchronicities are how the universe communicates with you. Now, this doesn't mean that you have no say and that you are left to the device of the universe, not at all, because you have free will. But what it means is that this divine essence, force, whatever it is that you wish to call it, is in constant communication with you through those things that we often label as casual coincidences. If you learn to communicate with the universe, you too can co-create with her the life that is meant for you. Now, how do you learn to communicate with the universe and recognize the signs, you may be wondering? By learning to see everything as divinely sent, even those things that you may not consider divine or good. To truly understand the ways of the universe, you need to create distance between yourself and the event. Otherwise, it's very difficult to capture the message. When the incident happened to me, I was devastated. It was very difficult for me to gain any perspective because I was in the middle of the storm. But in time, as I healed, I was able to appreciate the beautiful path that had sprouted for me from that very painful event. Later, I was able to realize how my destiny and my life's purpose were intrinsically tied to the very painful event because it was the catalyst for my transformation. It is like looking at strokes of paint from out close. It's impossible to appreciate the image when you step back far enough. Then you can see the beautiful picture. Had I looked at the betrayal in isolation, none of it would have made sense. But with the gift of time, I've been able to connect the dots and see how that pain was preordained. It was orchestrated to prepare me for the life of service that I have today. So as you journey through this beautiful thing called life, remember that there are no coincidences, only divine appointments. Each event, each encounter, every challenge is a thread intricately woven into the grand design of your life. So learn to recognize the sign, trust on the unknown, and step into the path that the universe has set out for you. I invite you to open your heart and mind, and in doing so, you may just discover, like I did, a life filled with purpose and meaning and fulfillment beyond your wildest dreams. Thank you for joining me on this conversation, and may your life be full of divine appointments that lead you closer to your destiny. I'll see you on the next episode.